Welcome! I'm so glad you're here to explore the fascinating world of behavior. Today, we're diving into a key concept from applied behavior analysis, or ABA, a concept that's both powerful and surprisingly simple once you understand it. We'll be breaking down the core principles in a way that's easy to grasp, even if you're completely new to ABA. That concept is extinction. When you hear extinction, you might think of dinosaurs, those magnificent creatures that roamed the earth millions of years ago, only to disappear entirely. But in ABA, it's about changing behavior, not meteors wiping out entire species. We're not talking about catastrophic events here. Extinction isn't about ignoring people or being mean, giving someone the silent treatment, or deliberately trying to hurt their feelings. It's not a punishment strategy. It's a tool, a carefully applied technique for helping people unlearn habits that no longer serve them, behaviors that might even be holding them back. Think about your own habits, those little things you do without even realizing it, like grabbing a cookie every time you pass the kitchen, even when you're not really hungry. These habits stick around because they do something for us. They provide a reward, a little bit of pleasure, a moment of comfort. But what happens when that habit stops working? What if the cookies are gone, or they start making you feel sick? That's what extinction is all about. What happens when the reward disappears? We'll explore how behaviors fade, gradually diminish, when the payoff disappears, when the reinforcement stops. We'll do this using everyday examples, situations you can easily relate to. Imagine pushing a remote button and nothing happens. The TV doesn't turn on, the channel doesn't change. You push it harder, right? You might even press it repeatedly, convinced it will eventually work. That's part of the extinction process, an initial increase in the behavior before it starts to decrease. This isn't just for therapists. It's not just something you learn in a clinical setting. Parents, who are constantly shaping their children's behavior, teachers, who guide students in the classroom, and anyone can use this knowledge to better understand the world around them. It's a powerful tool to understand and change behavior, both your own and the behavior of others. Why does your dog bark at the door every time someone approaches? Why does your toddler throw their cup on the floor during mealtime? There's always a reason, a payoff, a consequence that reinforces the behavior. Extinction is what happens when you remove that payoff, when you stop providing the reinforcement. It's a fundamental principle of how we learn, how we adapt, and how we change our behavior over time. So let's get into it and see how extinction works in real life, with practical examples and relatable scenarios. By the end, you'll see behavior in a whole new light, with a deeper understanding of why we do what we do. No meteors required, just a clear understanding of the principles of behavior. Ready? Let's go. Let's unlock the secrets of extinction together. Let's define extinction in ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis. It's a term that's often misunderstood, so let's break it down in a way that's easy to grasp. We're not talking about the end of something entirely, but rather the fading away of a specific behavior. It's when a behavior that used to get a reward no longer does, so it fades away. Think of it like this. You're used to pressing a button and getting a certain result, but suddenly, that result stops happening. The button might be broken, or the system might be down. The behavior of pressing that button, which was once reinforced, now yields nothing. Over time, you'll likely stop pressing it. The key is reinforcement. It's the engine that drives behavior. Every behavior that sticks around is fueled by some kind of payoff. It could be tangible, like money or a treat, or intangible, like praise or attention. Whatever it is, that payoff is what keeps the behavior going. Without it, the behavior is likely to diminish. If you stop the payoff, the behavior eventually stops. It's like cutting off the supply line. The behavior no longer serves its purpose, and so it gradually disappears. It's not punishment, it's about removing the fuel. Punishment involves introducing an aversive stimulus, whereas extinction is simply the withholding of a previously provided reinforcer. These are distinctly different concepts in ABA. For example, a child whines for a cookie and the parent gives in. The cookie is the reinforcement. It's what's driving the whining behavior. The child has learned that whining leads to a delicious reward. To use extinction, you stop giving the cookie when the whining happens. You consistently refuse to give in, no matter how much the child whines. The behavior loses its payoff and fades. Eventually, the child will learn that whining no longer results in a cookie, and the whining will decrease in frequency and intensity. This happens in daily life too. Extinction is a natural process that occurs all the time, often without us even realizing it. If a vending machine stops giving snacks, you stop using it. The vending machine used to provide a reward, but now it doesn't, so you extinguish the behavior of putting money in it. Or if your jokes stop getting laughs, you stop telling them to that group. The laughter was the reinforcement, and without it, the behavior of telling jokes diminishes. Extinction isn't just ignoring someone. It's about removing the specific reward. It's about identifying what's maintaining the behavior and then systematically withholding that reinforcer. You have to know what the real payoff is. This requires careful observation and analysis. What is the person actually getting out of the behavior? If you get it wrong, extinction won't work. You might be targeting the wrong reinforcer, or you might not be consistently withholding the correct one. If a child wants to escape homework, ignoring them won't help. You have to stop letting them avoid the task. The escape from homework is the reward, so you need to make sure they complete it. Find the exact fuel and cut it off. Identify the specific reinforcer that's maintaining the unwanted behavior and consistently remove it. That's extinction in action. When implemented correctly and consistently, extinction can be a powerful tool for behavior change. So, how does extinction look in real life? Let's delve into some practical examples to really understand how this behavioral principle plays out in everyday situations. We'll explore scenarios involving both children and adults, highlighting the nuances and challenges that can arise when implementing extinction strategies. It's a process, not a one-time event. Think of it as a gradual fading away, rather than an immediate disappearance. It requires patience, consistency, and a keen understanding of the underlying motivations driving the behavior you're trying to change. First, figure out why the behavior happens and what the payoff is. What is the individual getting out of performing this action? Is it attention, escape from a task, sensory stimulation, or something else entirely? Understanding the function is the key to successful extinction. This is called a functional behavior assessment. It's a systematic way to gather information and analyze the reasons behind a particular behavior. This assessment often involves observation, interviews, and data collection to pinpoint the triggers and consequences that maintain the behavior. For example, a student taps their pencil on the desk repeatedly during class. What could be the reason? Let's consider the possibilities. The teacher usually responds, often by telling the student to stop, inadvertently reinforcing the tapping by providing the attention the student craves. Even negative attention can be reinforcing. To use extinction, the teacher stops responding to the tapping altogether. This means no reprimands, no eye contact, no acknowledgement of the behavior, and instead gives attention when the student is quiet, focusing on reinforcing the desired behavior. This positive reinforcement helps to replace the unwanted behavior with a more appropriate one. Another example, a child screams and throws a tantrum when asked to do homework. This is a common scenario in many households. If the parent, worn down by the screaming, lets them skip homework to restore peace, the screaming is inadvertently reinforced. The child learns that tantrums are an effective way to avoid unpleasant tasks. With extinction, the parent calmly waits for the screaming to stop, without giving in to the demand to avoid homework. This requires immense patience and self-control, then prompts homework, no more escape. Once the child is calm, the parent gently guides them back to the task, reinforcing the expectation that homework must be completed. Consistency is crucial. Extinction will only work if the reinforcement is consistently withheld every time the behavior occurs. If one person gives in, even occasionally, the behavior gets stronger due to intermittent reinforcement. This inconsistency can make the behavior even more resistant to extinction. This is called intermittent reinforcement, and it makes habits incredibly hard to break. The unpredictable nature of the reinforcement creates a powerful association between the behavior and the possibility of a reward. So, identify the function, withhold the reinforcement completely and consistently, and make sure everyone sticks to the plan. Communication and collaboration are essential for successful implementation. It's a team effort, requiring a unified approach from all individuals involved in the person's life. You've started extinction, now what? Don't expect the behavior to fade quietly. The first thing you'll see is an extinction burst. The behavior gets worse before it gets better. Think of the vending machine. You push the button harder when it doesn't work. People try new things too. If whining doesn't work, a child might stomp or pull on your sleeve. This is extinction-induced variability, trying different tactics to get the old reward. Frustration is common. You might see anger, crying, or even aggression. It's normal, but don't give in otherwise. You teach that bigger outbursts work. Even after the behavior seems gone, it can pop up again. This is spontaneous recovery. Stay consistent, and the behavior will fade faster each time. Understanding these phases helps you stick with the plan. Some behaviors are stubborn. This is called resistance to extinction. If a behavior was rewarded every time, it fades quickly. If it was rewarded only sometimes, it's much harder to get rid of. Think slot machines. The bigger or better the reward, the more persistent the behavior. Easy behaviors, like whining, are harder to extinguish than effortful ones, like tantrums. Long-standing habits are tougher to break than new ones. Knowing these factors helps you set realistic expectations. To use extinction well, always pair it with teaching a better behavior. If you stop reinforcing whining, teach and reward asking nicely. Plan for the extinction burst. Know how you'll handle it safely. Consistency is everything. Everyone involved must follow the plan every time. If someone gives in, the behavior gets stronger. Hold a team meeting, write the plan, and make sure everyone's on board. Be patient and track progress. Keep a simple log to see trends. Data helps you know if your plan is working. Don't rely on memory. Let the numbers guide you. Extinction isn't always the right tool. Never use it for dangerous behaviors. Safety comes first. If you can't control the reward, extinction won't work. Don't try it in public if you can't handle the burst. And if you can't be consistent, don't start giving in. Makes things worse. Sometimes another strategy is better. Good judgment means knowing when not to use extinction. Scene complete. 9. Let's recap the key terms. Extinction, removing the specific reward that keeps a behavior going. Extinction burst, the behavior gets worse before it gets better. Extinction-induced variability, trying new behaviors when the old one stops working. Resistance to extinction, how stubborn a behavior is. Spontaneous recovery, the behavior pops up again after fading. Resurgence, an old behavior returns when a new one is put on extinction. Knowing these terms helps you understand and use extinction effectively. That's extinction, no dinosaurs, no punishment. It's about removing the reward and teaching better ways to get needs met. Expect bumps like extinction bursts and spontaneous recovery. Be a detective, know why the behavior happens before you act. Always pair extinction with teaching a new skill. Know when not to use it. Safety and consistency matter most. Understanding extinction helps us support positive change in ourselves and others. Be patient, be kind, and use data to guide you. Thanks for joining me. Go make a difference. And that's a wrap on extinction, one of the most powerful tools in the ABA toolbox when used thoughtfully. Remember, behavior doesn't just vanish overnight, and sometimes it gets louder before it fades. Hello, extinction burst. But with patience, consistency, and good data, you've got this. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more brain-boosting content, and share this with your fellow ABA warriors. Until next time, keep observing, keep learning, and keep shaping better behavior, one data point at a time.